Hark are the bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say, throw cares away. Christmas is here, bringing good cheer to young and old.
Hi, I'm Mitra Chester, the upcycle designer for ENVIA Fashion. Guess what season it is? You guessed it, ugly Christmas sweater season. So today I'm going to be sharing some tips and ideas on how to make your own DIY ugly Christmas sweater. Step 1 is choosing your sweater. The cool thing about ugly Christmas sweaters is you can use a hideous sweater, an old sweater. You can even change the shape of your sweater in the process of transforming it. For instance, I cut the neckline of this turtleneck sweater into this sweater. You can also use a busy or a plain sweater depending on the design you prefer. This type of design is really popular for ugly Christmas sweaters. You can even use a damaged or shrunken sweater. For instance, it's really easy to cover up holes like this with all of this. I like to use shrunken sweaters for applique pieces such as elbow pads and good old Santa Claus. So step 2 in our ugly Christmas sweater tips and ideas is to pick out your materials. I'm going to be going through a lot of different ideas that you can use for materials. Some of them you may have around your house, others you can get at a craft store, but what I like to encourage is for you to use materials that would otherwise be thrown away. So you might find these types of things, say, at the bottom of your Christmas ornament box after you've already decorated your Christmas tree, or just hanging around the house, or even en route to the trash. In terms of tools, it's pretty simple. You just need a pair of scissors, a piece of chalk or a pen, and a hot glue gun and hot glue. Now, in terms of materials, there's a variety of things that you can use. Some of my suggestions are tinsel, old or broken Christmas ornaments, burned out Christmas light bulbs, and even fake Christmas plants and flowers. In terms of things for the applique pieces, such as the elbow patches or good old Santa Claus right here, you can use things like the aforementioned shrunken sweater, damaged leather clothing or jackets, and even stuffing or batting for snow and for Santa's beard. Step 3 of doing your DIY ugly Christmas sweater is to plan and design. Now I suggest you take some time with this step. A lot of people just think an ugly Christmas sweater is just gluing a whole bunch of stuff onto a sweater. In my opinion, that's not true. Having an idea is very important. You can research ideas on sites like Pinterest, Tumblr, and Instagram. You may take one from someone's sweater that you see walking down the street or at a party, or you can come up with your own, which is what I suggest. Even if you borrow another person's idea, my suggestion is that you make it your own. Some ideas that you might want to use are winter themes, such as different types of winter animals, snow, snowflakes, even winter foods, pumpkin spice, or what you might eat at a Christmas dinner. Another idea would be things that you find nostalgic and remind you of Christmas or the wintertime. Now that's going to completely depend on you and your life, but that's the type of thing that really give an ugly Christmas sweater a story. Other things you might think about when you're planning your ugly Christmas sweater is the composition. I know you've seen those Christmas sweaters that just look like Rudolph really did throw up on the sweater. So my suggestion is that you plot out a sweater like you would if you were drawing a picture or taking a photograph. It's all about composition. You don't want it too sparse, nor do you want it too busy. The last thing I'm going to remind you of is engineering. When you're gluing a whole bunch of stuff on something you're going to wear, you want to think about things like stretch and placement. You don't want to be gluing glass Christmas lights in your armpit because that could be really dangerous. Nor do you want to accentuate certain parts of your body by placing, say, 2 Christmas ornaments on your chest, if you know what I mean. One of the biggest mistakes made with hot glue is that the glue cools and then will not stick. So my suggestion is that you glue small pieces at a time so that this won't happen. So I'm going to start with just gluing the head down. If you glue around the edges, the piece will stay on a lot better. And again, we have our paper under there, so when you press it down, it's not going to glue the 2 sections of sweater together. So now you can flip up your guy and glue a next section so that the glue won't cool. Another thing to remember is if you make a mistake and say there's a little bit of glue, don't try to wipe it off when it's hot. It'll smear and look really bad. But if you let it cool, you can usually just pick it right off. When you're gluing odd-shaped parts onto a sweater, say like a flower, it's good to put your hand behind it and press it down because it may not get really good contact if it's on a flat surface. So if we're going to glue this flower on, we want to put it on the object, not on the sweater. It's less likely to leave a noticeable mark if you put it on the object. And then you press it down with your hand, like that. And finally, be really cautious about being safe. If you're going to glue small bits where you have to hold it with your hand, you probably want to just put the little dot on the thing so as not to burn yourself, and then drop the eyeball or small ornament down. When gluing long strips of something on, again, you want to take it section by section so that the glue does not pool and therefore lose its tackiness. So we're just going to glue a little bit at a time, and we already have our design laid out. Step 5 is wear it with confidence. Remember, you made the sweater, so you should be proud of it. You have a story about it, and it's your own design. Also, even with fashion, beauty comes from within.
Christmas is here, bringing good cheer to young and old. Peek on the ball, ding dong a dong, that is their song. With joyful ring, all caroling, one seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they pound, raising their sound, or here and there, telling a tale. Gaily they ring, while people sing songs of good cheer. Christmas is here, ding merry 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 Christmas, ding merry 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 Christmas. Come on, they sang, John without end, their joyful tongue to every home, hark, the bells.